trailer swept off. This is something that I kind of wanted to talk about. There's so many guys. It's like this forklift operator got out of the way so we can get out the gate now. Head over to our pickup. My GPS is probably going to be yapping in your ear, so I'll try to stop talking when it starts talking. Something I wanted to talk about, like sweeping off the trailer. Taking the 2 minutes that it takes to sweep off a trailer. I run around a lot and I see guys running around with trailers, RGNs, low boys, whatever, and it looks like they haven't swept off the trailer in years. And to me, this is such a simple thing that makes a huge difference in the way you look, the way your company looks, and the way the general public looks at trucking. Taking a minute to sweep off your trailer to me is incredibly important. Like, that car that's behind you, when something flies off your trailer and it hits a car behind you, it is never an inexpensive car. It's always a Mercedes-Benz, a BMW, or Corvette, something expensive. They're the only people that are ever behind you when something comes off your trailer. So take the 2 minutes, have a little pride in your work, take the 2 minutes, sweep off the trailer. Makes you look good, makes your company look good, and it makes all of trucking look a little bit better in the eyes of our general public. There we go. Alright, well, we're on the road. Heading over to my pickup's I'm in Dunmore, Pennsylvania right now. My pickup's in Carbondale, Pennsylvania. GPS says I'm 12 miles away. So, should be a real quick little bounce over there to pick it up. And I will film on my way in. This place is interesting to get into. It's kind of like straight up a hill and pretty tight. So, I'll shoot some video while I'm headed in there so you can see what some of the stuff we got to go through and where we got to put these trucks.
Driving trucks, eating chicken, trucking, finger licking, trying to keep it in between the lines. Bird dogs are hunting, straight pipes are puffing. I'm loving this diesel life. County Mountie in the middle, think I just peed a little. Glad I ain't got no panties on. Don't need no bugs on my glass, bears on my ass, or pop singer singing country songs. Blood fucking, chicken trucking, big wheels they're humming. High rate of fuel consumption, missing mama, needing loving, rolling with the wailing sound. Running like a southern shaker, I don't need no 40 acres to turn this rig around. I'm jacked up like a Chevy, but ain't heading to the levee. Lord have mercy sakes alive.
Alright, well, we made it up the hill in the woods by the cemetery. Sometimes I wonder places I go. Start up that road and you see that cemetery and you're thinking, okay. So, this is our unit right here. One of the guys came up and started it for us. Made sure he didn't have to jump it. The D6 cat. Had a fixed blade. Won't rotate. Not a bad looking unit. I have to get the measuring tape out. It's supposed to be 11 foot wide, 11.2 I believe. I have to get the tape measure out and measure that blade because it can't turn at all. One thing about Pennsylvania is Pennsylvania likes their rules about hauling bulldozers. Any bulldozer in Pennsylvania, you have to pull it onto the trailer. You have to make sure the blade is facing backwards. I don't know. I really don't understand why that makes a difference for the motoring public. Why I think the I don't know that if you hit a blade, whether it's forward or backwards, I'm not sure it's going to matter to your car. But they do want you to, the blade has to be facing backwards. Also, Pennsylvania has, the only state I know of, I haven't seen it in any other state. Pennsylvania has a rule that if the blade of the unit is over, if the blade of the bulldozer is over any unit with a blade, if it is over 12 foot wide, then you have to have what's called a blade guard. And these blade guards, they kind of look like guardrails. They bolt onto the side. They bolt right there onto the side of the blade arm, and they wrap around the blade. It makes it not such a blunt area. It'll, like cars, if they hit it, they're going to roll off of it. I didn't realize cars hitting blades was that big of an issue, but apparently it is in Pennsylvania. And they have this law that you have to, if you're over 12 foot wide with a blade, you got to have these blade guards. Now the catch is, these blade guards are serial numbered, and you have to provide the serial number to the blade guard, to the permit office, before they'll issue the permit. So they're pretty serious about it too. I don't have blade guards. I don't know any dealership that has them. So I just don't. If it's over 12 foot and it's a blade, I just don't even bother. Find a different load. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing loaded up. I'll set the camera somewhere so you can see me in action here. Should only take a couple minutes.
Right across these plains and prairies, Rocky Mountain highs, fade off into the distance like ghost riders in the sky. Black smoke and white line, steel horses side by side. It's more than just a living, y'all. Hell, it's our way of life. We're the last of the cowboys, to giddy up gone boys. 18 wheels on the concrete, it's a slow and dying breed, rolling like Jesse James, a modern day outlaw game. If you're out here riding with me, come on back and make some noise. We're the last of the cowboys. It's a family tradition, diesel's running through our veins. Our daddy showed us the roads, we were born in the fast lane. Branded by our heroes, taught to saddle up and move. We keep this country rolling, we're damn proud of what we do. We're the last of the cowboys.
Well, took me a minute. Took me a minute to find the switch that controlled the idle, allowed the idle to kick up, and then you control it off the pedal. So it took me a second to remember how to run that dang thing, but she's on there now. Not quite as perfect as it could have been, but pretty hard to see when you're inside that cab. There's a lot of stuff blocking you. So got it pretty square, pretty straight enough. I'm gonna go ahead and get hooked back up to the trailer, move up a little bit so I'm out of this mud hole. We'll get her chained down, take some measurements. I'll get a little film of that so you can I'll talk about that so you understand what I'm doing. All right, all tied up, secured down, flagged up, ready to go. We do need to take some measurements here, so I'll show you that. A little tricky tying this one down. Everything's a little bit different. Not every machine's exactly the same. This one had a little weird cork to it in the back end. So I went ahead and I did 4 chains back here, 4 X'd. I X'd off of the frame mounts right here for the winch, for 2 of them, 1 on each side, and then 1 off the track on the other one. In the back, there really wasn't anywhere to secure the blade, so I ended up hooking on my D-ring there, coming up and around, holding the blade, pulling backwards on the blade. Okay, if I got to slam on the brakes. X chain in the back. Ended up putting my D-rings on. Clevis, D-ring, whatever you want to call it. I carry 4 or 6 of those. 6 of them in one size, and then I carry a bunch of little ones that I use once in a while. We're flagged up. Got to flag the widest portion of the load. I have 4 flags, so I just put the 2 right there. Wake people up a little bit. So let's measure across this blade. Blade on the other side with the tape measure, brought it across. Looks like we're roughly 10 foot 6 inches, so we're way under our permit. I think the permit was for, I think the permit's for 11 foot 4, 11 foot 2 inches, so a little over 11 feet. Now we need to get a measurement on the height. I got my sneaky little high pole here. This is something you need to pay attention to when you're measuring height too. This is a bad area right here, because if you look, the trailer is not sitting level. See how the back end's way down, the front end's way down, and there's a big dip in the middle? That's going to throw off our measurement. I'm going to measure it anyways from right there. See what we get right there, because if we're good there, then I know we're good on flat ground, so. Go ahead. Alright. I bought this measuring pole. My wife actually bought it for me. From a company called My Tees. I think it was like 130 bucks, probably the best $130 I ever spent. As you can see, put the arm out, then it has measurements on it. You put the pole up, it's got 3 extensions. Put the pole up, then you bring it back down, hit the top of the load, then you can look exactly where you're at. Let's see what we got. Back up here a little bit, make sure I'm measuring at the highest point of load. Looks like I am. So we're very good on this one. Get this thing straight. It's very important when you're doing these measurements to make sure your pole, a lot of guys use a level, and I have one with me, I just don't today. Get a level, make sure that thing's perfectly straight when you're taking your measurement, because if you're angled left or right, it's going to change it. It's going to change your dimension a lot. So this one here, it looks like we are at 11 foot, just over 11 inches. So 11 foot 11 inches, that's to the ground on this really crappy measuring area. So I know we'll be way good when we get on level ground. We'll be in great shape. Set you down here while I put this pole away. The way you do this, you got these little tabs right here. Just push in, spin it, brings that arm down. Same thing here. And you just put your arm in. So we know our measurement's good on this load. That's good. Sometimes, I mean, it happens. Like sometimes people pull measurements off the internet. They don't really take the time to actually measure the load. Customer didn't, whatever. So sometimes you get wrong dimensions. We try to pad our permits a little bit. This one we didn't get wrong directions. We actually were wrong dimensions. Well, we did, but we got them wrong in a good way. So it's worked out in our favor. All right, well, we're gonna get on the road. Maybe I'll do a little filming while I'm trucking. Let you see the great state of Pennsylvania.
I'll fire them things up, boys. Been out here on this highway, rolling on now 20 years. Just like my dad before me, coffee, blood, sweat, and tears. I'm addicted to the white line, a prisoner of the road. Ain't no cure for this disease. It breeds us outlaws and rogues. When they locked me up, they handed me the keys. I'm pulling 18 years of life with no chance of parole. My heart belongs to Jesus, but this highway owns my soul. It's a crime, I'm doing time just to send it on down the line. I'm pulling 18 gears, 18 gears, 18 gears of life. Some say I'm semi-crazy, my God.